During his stay in Midian, Moses received essential lessons for the fulfillment of his call. God showed him great signs of his power, among them the rod that turned into a serpent. Pharaoh knew that Moses had not received this kind of training at his palace, and probably when he understood the situation, he asked himself, where did he learn this? We did not teach these tricks to Moses when he was here, and Moses did not receive that kind of training while in the palace, but he learned it at the specialized training center called the desert. So, like Moses, we won't be completely ready to be used by the Lord until we have gone through this center. And although our stay there could turn out to be uncomfortable and difficult, because apart from being an arid and inhospitable place, and at times vipers and other vermin will try to get you poisoned instead of training you. So do not take their poison. Activate the antidote that God has put inside of you, which will always be much stronger than the venom they spew. The authority of graduates. When Moses left Midian, he was not the same man that he was when he arrived, because aside from the fact that his perspective changed due to what had been revealed to him there, he also received the authority to be able to say, "In the middle of the desert, I learned to depend on God, to wait on His defense, to trust in His promises, and to understand that everything works for good, although at the moment it does not seem that way." His experiences had enabled him to say to the people, "Bundle up well, because the nights are cold. Do not drink of certain waters because they are bitter. Be careful, because in this type of terrain some beasts and vipers may be roaming." And if the people asked him, "How do you know?" he could answer, "Because before bringing you, I had already been here." So, after we go through the desert, we become much more efficient in fulfilling God's calling in our life. Regarding this, the Apostle Paul said, "I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want." Philippians 4:12 NIV. The Lord does not train His agents for nothing. No matter what the circumstances you are going through, adopt the right attitude. Give the best of yourself and learn from it. Because everything you are learning through your circumstances will be used by God to make you more efficient at the next level you will be taken to. If they don't know the story, they won't sense the glory. As you read a book, one chapter gives you continuity to the next. God wrote your life's story in a book format, with new chapters for every stage. Therefore, when people come to you in your harvest chapter, and they have not read the previous ones, they think that your story started where you are now. They are bothered by the car you have, ignoring that there was a time when you depended on another person to get to where you wanted to go. It bothers them to see the clothes you wear, not knowing that there was a time when everything you wore was borrowed, or at best, your purchases were of second, third, or even fourth-hand nature. They can't get over the fact of seeing where you live now, simply because they just don't know about the time when you had to live in someone else's home, because your income was not enough to rent your own place. They are hugely offended at seeing you in the position the Lord has put you in, because they were not with you when God was forming your roots, when you were invisible, when instead of being elevated and noticeable, you were oppressed and pushed down. They came to know you in the harvest chapter. They were not in the previous chapters. They think that what you have now was obtained very quickly, or even worse, someone handed it to you by favoritism. But before you face this, do not react. Do not let yourself be provoked. Save time and don't waste efforts, because those that were absent at the time of your sowing won't understand the reasons for your harvest.